Hello, arise and shine. Welcome to the wonderful show, the Lumen Morning Diary. With us, the winning team. With me, Henry Mdenda. Not forgetting, I'm not alone in the studio. I've been joined by my beautiful co-host, Alice Lungo. Good morning.
Good morning, Henry.
How has been your week?
I must say a little bit challenging, but we are pushing.
We are pushing.
Yes.
This is the week which has come with a lot of mixed feelings, Alice.
Yes. A lot has actually happened. We've heard of course, sad stories, and not forgetting yesterday we had the National Day of Prayer and Fasting. At least we had to recognize the importance of God in our nation.
In our nation, Zambia must hear the word of the Lord. Actually, this is a wake-up call actually to everyone that actually praying for the nation. It should be an ongoing thing, not only being recognized on the 18th of October. And then the other thing, Alice, as I woke up in the morning, I just remembered to say, okay, Zambia, it is a peaceful country indeed, where everyone was busy yesterday. The streets were quiet. Not so busy activities, meaning that a lot of people actually were indoors. Others were following the processions on TV, others online. We've seen quite a number of churches also had participating in the National Day of Prayer. Apart from that, also the local churches had their own activities.
Yes. I would say, which is something that is very good. A nation that recognizes God as their God is a huge blessing.
It is a huge blessing.
And we thank God for the peace that we, like you have said, for the peace that we enjoy in our nation, Zambia. And we continue to pray that the peace should always be there. Peace should always reign in the nation of Zambia.
For sure, Alice, and our viewers, today's topic of focus, we are looking at the impact of climate change. Indeed, we have felt the impact as a nation, as families, as countries in outside Africa. The climate change is actually a real thing, but many other times people do not know what climate change is all about. And on our other side, we'll be joined by the guest and expert actually who will tell us more about climate change. And together, you and us in the studio, we can learn from them and definitely take action is the key word, Alice.
Yes. Indeed, our dear viewers, you need to stay glued to the Lumen Morning Diary, because we've got exciting segments for you. Like Henry said, we are talking about the impact of climate change, and of course we have other segments like Food for the Soul with Father Arthur, where he shares with us the importance of reaching our soul with the word of God. And the other segments, Henry, viewers should watch out for.
You should also look forward for the health segment. We have the health expert who tell us more actually in line with our topic of focus. Many other times people do think that climate change only impact the things that people grow, such as crops, at least plants and the like, but without realizing that also climate change has negative effects on our lives.
Yes, and not forgetting, we always share what's trending on social media, the latest trends that we hear of, and also we have newspaper picks. Not forgetting the sports segment. We always have Mr. Mafuta, who has this information about sports. So you need to stay glued to the Lumen Morning Diary and just learn more that we have for you.
Right up now, let's just dive into the newspaper pick, Alice. We tell people what has hit today's news, especially in the papers.
Oh yes. To begin with, the Zambia Daily Mail headline says, HH Zambia prays. President calls for peace, reconciliation, unity. President Hakainde Hichilema has challenged the church to be at the forefront of promoting values such as decent marriage on Christian principles.
The top headlines on the mass newspaper: change necessary for Zambia. People to have the future you want and that you deserve. U.S. ambassador. So necessary. Yeah, actually change is necessary, Alice.
Yes, it is. There's also this headline which says, I was like Daniel in the Bible during the accident. This was Chief Mpezeni. After surviving a road accident in the national park, Chief Mpezeni of the Ngoni people likened himself to the story of Daniel in the Bible, who survived after being thrown in the den of lions.
All right, the top story on the mass newspaper again says HH never recognized a day of prayer when in opposition recalls meander.
Well,
actually, you know, I knew it that actually this day, the previous information actually on the National Day of Prayer would actually surface in the newspapers. Alice, before we continue with other stories, this just limited me. I mean, this just reminded me about the National Day of Prayer. Did you take part?
Taking part as in...
Did you take part in the National Day of Prayer? As in praying for the nation?
Of course. This is something that I have keen in. I love my country and I'm proud to be Zambian. I need to pray for it. Being a Christian is something that I would recognize, and I did recognize. I did pray for my country. It's not just that I prayed for my country yesterday being the National Day of Prayer and Fasting. I always remember to pray for my nation. It's important because I love the peace that we enjoy, and I love the fact that we do recognize God as a nation.
Yeah, not way back, families used to stay in houses actually observing this day of prayer and fasting through the television. But yesterday we had a story that surfaced in the newspaper. Zesco Limited apologizes to HH for load shedding him. So this actually also hit the copper belt where the president was on the function. The function is on, then power cuts. I think this would have been strategized by the technical committee to ensure that they improvise, you know, automatic genset on an event like that one. I think this one, it should be a wake-up call and actually urge them that load shedding is real. Especially that,
and it's everywhere.
Especially that the zone that they were in, maybe Zesco had put maybe automatic switchers maybe in line with their timetable. You never know. Yeah, it just happened like that. This you can find it on page number 8. I am satisfied with one wife, HH. This is also another story that can be found on page number 8. You know, mass newspaper actually, Alice, has a lot of stories. Falling in love with another man while being married to uncommon Kakuta. How Zambia is falling apart. These are stories that you can also find on page number 2 of the mass newspaper. The mass newspaper actually has a lot of stories in line with the national affairs, personal things, and whatsoever. Apart from the papers, Alice, what's trending?
Of late, Henry, we've had sad stories circulating on social media. We've heard of a story that happened, which is a very, very sad one, of the Jordan bus.
Yeah.
Like 4 people lost their lives and 29 injured. This actually happened a few days ago, and it happened along Kafue Road. And I must say, it's really a sad story to hear of 4 people dying. It's really a sad one, I must say.
Another one that just surfaced in the same week, we also witnessed the accident of the Hino truck and the Vitz on Chisamba. Chisamba Kabwe Road, where 4 people also died on the spot. Alice, I think October has been.
We've heard stories of people dying because of accidents.
Accidents trended this week.
Yes, it did trend. I came across a figure of how many accidents in the quarter have actually happened. Let me just say it's quite a huge number of deaths that have actually occurred. It should be, let me not misplace the figures, but it should be around 500 people dying from the quarter of the year. We've seen people die. It's really, really a sad one, I must say. I really don't know what is happening.
Yeah, we actually
nation, honestly.
That one, Alice, I think for me, according to RATSA findings, they have said that all these accidents have been caused due to excessive speed. So the speed limits actually have to be observed on the road. And now that it's hot, you know, the tarmac also becomes hot, whereby tires cannot, you know, handle the heat that comes from the ground due to this climate change, of which it is.
As drivers, we also need to take precautions for the sake of the lives of others and for our own sake. We've talked about the sad stories, but also we saw the excitement of the pass out of the police. I must say congratulations to them.
Yeah, and welcome back to the society where everyone should be treated equally despite of what you are doing in your field. We've also witnessed in the recent past the Zambia army soldiers crashing with the people in Mfrila. You know, at some point people do not understand that they are supposed to protect the Zambians, and then we saw that also resurfacing on the social media, the Zambia army commander apologizing to the people out there, to the general public. Not too long, Alice, we've seen quite a number of stories, you know, that made headlines both on paper and on social media. That is the story of Zambia becoming, you know, the reconciliation of the two leaders also. That is also the theme of this year. What surprises me the most, Alice, the theme of the National Day of Prayer and Fasting, it's always reconciliation. Have you observed that?
Yes, because this is a time that you are praying to God and you want to humble yourself. You can't go to, let me just say, in the presence of God with a heavy heart, carrying a lot of burdens, carrying a lot of unforgiveness, and you want God to hear your prayers. No, you need to go there, humble yourself, empty yourself, reconcile with the person that you are not okay with, reconcile with yourself as well. Very important. Many at times we fail to forgive ourselves because of maybe past mistakes that we've done. So it also begins with ourselves. Like, let's reconcile
with one another.
Yeah.
Okay, reconciliation, Alice, it's a big thing, such that when a nation kneel down and pray for reconciliation, we are looking at it from the family level. You know, reconciliation should start from the family level, the friendly level, and the like. But people have tended to take this prayer and fasting in a political way, such that they think that when it's time for prayer and fasting, at least they think about two people merging for reconciliation. But we must urge the members of the general public that reconciliation actually must be the key that should be taken by all of us, ranging from the family level, friendship level, going forward. For now, we'll go on a short break. Up next, we'll be joined by Father Arthur with Food for the Soul. Do stay tuned.
natenga guitar faka kumbuyo church, then starts playing guitar from behind. I mean, he has the skill. I mean, he did a buno. But now the master has turned into a show. Entertainment. Now everybody in church begins to number 4 ni manji. You know, I'm a cop.
Social media.
I look at this guy, but what is he doing? Are we in a show or what is happening? So instrumentalists need to go through formation.
Welcome back. You're watching Lumen Morning Diary. Right about now, we've been joined by the Divine Mercy Choir from St. Mark Evangelist Chalala. I'll allow them to introduce themselves. Good morning and welcome to Lumen Morning Diary.
Good morning. My name is Charles Matongo. Coordinating the album launch event. Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning viewers. I'm Angela Mwale Nyirongo and I'm the music director for the Divine Mercy Choir.
Okay, you're welcome once again. To begin with, kindly explain to us about the Divine Mercy Choir. We want to know more about it.
So the Divine Mercy Choir is a choir that started as a group of people that were just trying to help the setup of the church. You know, our church is relatively new from the Catholic point of view, and we had our first mass at St. Mark the Evangelist in 2014 at the Pentecost, Sunday, and so over time, Divine Mercy Choir has been growing to support the liturgical activities of the church. So up until recently, that the choir now sort of trying to go out there to show that it has grown. We have a membership of over 60 people currently within the locality of Chalala, from all the 7 small Christian communities that we have. I think I'll end there.
Okay, you've explained to us how the choir started. I'll start by also asking, how did it come together and what is your mission? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in terms of coming together, these are people that are coming from different parts of the country, because, as I mentioned, the church is just new. So they are coming actually from different parts. So we came together and started the choir itself. And then the mission basically is for us to continue evangelizing through music. Okay. That's our main mission as the choir. Because in as much as we are, we have this music, singing, the talent and all that, but at the core is the evangelization part of it. We ensure that it's not just about entertainment or anything else, but evangelizing through singing.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've actually seen adverts running about the album launch that you are going to have. Kindly share with us about the launch. We want to hear more information about it.
Okay, so about the launch, basically we have about 10 tracks in our album, and we just want to share the talents that we have, as a choir. So this launch is going to be on the 26th of October, which is next Saturday, and it's going to be at Nipa Hall. Yes, so we have got different activities that have been lined up for the same. We have got artists that we have invited. We have got guest of honor that we have also invited. So in terms of the artist, we have Kristen. Yes, she's going to be there. We also have the St. Ignatius 11:30 hours choir. We also have St. Lawrence main choir that are coming on board, and many others that are going to help us make this a reality, on Saturday. Unless there's also something that you could add.
So the event, of course, is going to be an entertaining event. Remember that it's an album that has a lot of thanksgiving and praise songs, meaning that there's a lot of dancing, and we expect that people will get value for their money. Also, what we anticipate is an appreciation of Catholic songs done in English. I think you might be aware that most English choirs, whenever they are singing Thanksgiving songs, they switch to vernacular songs, partly because they are danceable and everybody is able to get on board, but also because we don't have a lot of English songs done for a particular setting here in Zambia. So this was an audacious attempt by the Divine Mercy Choir to try and see if we can add to the repertoire of English songs within the Catholic Church, but also make them as fun as possible. If you listen to the genre of music, we have some Kalindula touch, some Rumba touch. We also have a touch of reggae, some disco touch, just to appeal to the common person there. So that when these songs begin to play, everybody can feel part. And our aim, like you say, is to evangelize, and in so doing, we want to have that full, active, conscious participation of the faithful.
Okay. Apart from the album launch that Divine Mercy Choir is having, what else are we expecting from the Divine Mercy Choir? The future plans.
Okay, the immediate future plan, we talk about the long-term plans, but the immediate future plan is that we have tried to combine this event with a fundraiser for the church. We also want to take this opportunity to inform the viewers out there that St. Mark the Evangelist, like I mentioned, is a fairly new parish, so we are under construction. So it's a construction site, meaning that we need a lot of funds to come from different circles, and we thought, why not add the fundraiser for the church while we are showcasing our musical abilities through this album launch. So part of the event is to also raise more awareness about the construction, and in so doing raise more funds to channel towards the construction of the church. So we have made a pledge to our parish priest for the gift Mlenga CP that we will donate a significant amount of our proceeds towards the construction of the church. So there's a lot of support from within the church, and we are hoping that even other parishioners can come on board, that as they attend this event, they will also be participating in the construction of the church. So that is the immediate plan. She can touch the
Yes, okay, for the long term, yes, we are a new choir, but we have seen the potential that we have.
Okay.
But we are also looking at, we've got so many choirs around Lusaka, so our main aim is to interact with them and see what we can share with them, because we know that many of the times that choirs struggle, you know, in terms of them just being up to date, in terms of giving the people the music that they want during Mass. So we are hoping that we'll be able to have these visits with, to other choirs, so that we share our journey up to today. And then also we are looking at us having, of course, other albums in the future. We'll sit and see which parts maybe in our Catholic Church, which doesn't have a lot of songs, that we could compose and share with other choirs as well.
Okay, just your concluding remarks concerning your launch that you're having to emphasize to the viewers out there.
Okay, mine is a simple one. We are running towards the D-Day itself, and I would like to urge everyone to come and enjoy themselves, but also, like I said, as they do that, they will be contributing to the church. So it's a double happiness, you know. You are happy to dance along to danceable songs, but also happy that you would have contributed to the building of the church. Just a small confession. There's one of our parishioners who had asked us, say, but why didn't you do vernacular songs, because they're easy to dance to and all that. And then I said, okay, first listen to the album and then come back and tell us. Yeah. Then she came back and says, yeah, those are really nice songs. Okay. So I think I have every hope that we will compete with some vernacular songs with the way our songs have been composed and arranged.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on Lumen Morning Diary. I'm sure all roads will lead to the launch.
Please do come.
Of course. That was the Divine Mercy sharing with us the information about the album launch, which they'll soon have. For now, we go on a break. We'll be right back. Don't change the channel.
Be smart. Advertise your business with Lumen TV by calling our marketing department on 0974 71 60 20 or 0977 30 07 74.
Hello to you, our DRC viewers. Are you running a company or a business and you are looking for somewhere to advertise your products and services? Well, come to Lumen TV Zambia and we'll be able to advertise your products and services at affordable rates. Or you can still contact the marketing department on 0763 299 526. See you when you come.
Good news to all choirs and artists. Lumen TV Zambia proudly announces the opening of a brand new state-of-the-art audio recording studio. Calling all church choirs, Catholic or non-Catholics, to join us for a recording experience like no other. Plus, we offer a bonus of a free studio-based musical video to any choir that records with us. To all gospel artists, our audio recording studio is open wide for you to evangelize through music. Come through and experience our top-notch sound quality at unbeatable rates, while providing you with the highest sound quality that your fans will enjoy. Find us conveniently located at Lumen TV Zambia in Woodlands, within the grounds of St. Dominic's Major Seminary. Solo artists, we got you covered. Book your recording session by calling the numbers on the screen. Let us make your recording journey smooth, giving life to music.
Welcome back. You're still watching Lumen Morning Diary, and we've just been joined by Father Arthur. Father, good morning.
Good morning, Alice. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Father.
Yes, food for the soul.
Food for the soul.
We are yearning for it, so we want to know what you have for us today.
Yeah. Well, for today's reflection, I thought we could talk about tomorrow. Yeah. For today's reflection, I thought we could talk about tomorrow. I don't know if you get that.
No, I'm lost.
You're lost.
I think I'm getting it.
Today's reflection, I thought we could talk about tomorrow.
Which is the future.
So what is happening tomorrow? So tomorrow is a World Mission Day or World Mission.
You were lost, that is.
Completely.
You see?
I was thinking about something else.
Yes. So tomorrow the church celebrates World Mission Sunday or WorldMission Day. And I think it's important that today we talk about the theme that has been given to us by the Holy Father, Pope Francis, that we could reflect on tomorrow as we continue to emphasize the missionary nature of the church. Yeah. So tomorrow's theme is inspired by Matthew chapter 22, verse 9. You know, you remember that's the story of the wedding feast, where okay, let me say it in this manner: that you have a wedding, and then you give out cards. Yeah, but then those that you give cards to do not come to your wedding, but your wedding should still take place. Okay, so what do? You just tell is it those helping you to prepare for the wedding, you know, the wedding planners. You tell them, please, my wedding should not be disturbed because those that were invited have decided not to come. Go to the streets, Go and cross mountains and rivers and lakes and everything. Whoever you find, invite them. Let them come, because the wedding feast has already been prepared. Let them come and celebrate with me and with us. So, and this is the spirit in which we celebrate tomorrow's World Mission Sunday. The Pope says, and like I said, inspired by Matthew 22 verse 9, go out and invite everyone to the banquet. So now, in the spirit of evangelization, we are saying the church is missionary by nature, and being missionary by nature, all of us have the responsibility, the duty to go out and evangelize to everyone. The Lord has prepared a banquet. The Lord has prepared a feast, a meal, delicious meal. And this meal has to be feasted upon. And there has to be someone to feast on the meal. And this person that has to be, or that has to feast on the meal is you, me, everyone else. We are all invited to come to this feast and be part of the celebration, to feel the joy of the wedding. And this is what we celebrate tomorrow. I love a paragraph where the Pope is talking about there's a whole message for tomorrow's celebration, and there's a part where he talks about two types of feasts or two types of banquets. That the Lord is preparing a banquet, but the world is also preparing a banquet. So it's up to you to choose which wedding feast you want to attend. You want to go and eat. Is it that feast or the other feast? The world and the world continues to improve on the banquet. You know, it's like mwenza chape tomato onion manje wambofaka mnatuonga. Wafaka mnatuchana. And what the world is preparing seems to be very attractive.
Very much.
Yeah. And it has that aroma. You just want to go there. But the other side, there is also another banquet that the Lord is preparing. Maybe this side is also some beautiful music playing. This other side maybe not so beautiful, not so appealing, And so now you are there caught in between, because you can't eat at the same time. You can't eat both feasts. You have to choose. Yeah.
Now there's this saying, Father. The saying of nowadays where people say, you talked about two feasts, the Lord's feast and also the world is preparing a feast as well. A banquet. Yeah. Now, the people would say that things of God are boring. Church things are boring.
Many people say that.
Yeah, so what do you have to say about that?
Church things are boring. It depends on what you regard as interesting, what you regard as lively. Yeah. So if what I regard as lively is noise, it is unending dancing. If what I regard as lively is that kind of life, then definitely church life is going to be boring.
Yeah.
So, is church life or are church activities boring? They are not. It depends on what you regard as interesting, as lively. So the question is, what do you regard as lively? What do you regard as what do we regard as lively? Does the church activity or does the church life fall into what we regard as lively? So to answer your question simply, church activities are not boring. Church activities are not boring. They are not boring.
In calculators, not boring. Okay.
Yeah. So when we celebrate, World Mission Sunday, it is questions like that we try to respond to. Yeah. It is people like the people you're referring to that think church things that we try to address. To see, first of all, we have to understand what church life is. We have to understand what a banquet prepared by the Lord is, before we begin to say whether it is boring or not boring. Yeah. What is this banquet about? It is simply going out. There's a document that the Pope wrote some time back. Unfortunately, it was not translated into English. Yeah, it is called. I'll say the translation. It is called "Break Open the Doors." Okay. Spalancate le porte in Italiano. break open the doors. Go out. Don't close yourselves. Go out and meet the world. If what you're going to meet there is hostility, go and meet it. If what you're going to meet there are persecutors of the church, persecutors of Christians, go and meet them. But open the doors. Spalancate le porte. Open the doors. Go out. Go out and do the mission. And this is basically the mission, the message of tomorrow's celebration. Break open the doors. Because
open the doors.
Everybody has to come in and feast on this banquet the Lord has prepared. And as you go out to do this, do not look at anybody's face.
Yes.
Just invite everyone. Don't say, what tribe are you? You, what political party do you come from? What lay group are you? You, what smoke some... What church are you? Everybody has to be part of the banquet. So don't look at anybody's face. Don't look at anybody's titles. Invite everyone simply because they are created in the likeness of God, just like yourselves. And this is the spirit of evangelization, that we go out to attend to everybody, regardless of who they are, their ethnicity, their backgrounds, and so on and so forth. Just go out, break open the doors, go and invite everyone to the banquet. Towards the end of the message of the Pope, Pope Francis refers to the synod. You know, the synod that is just concluding this October, the synod of synodality. He says, as we celebrate tomorrow's or this year's World Mission Sunday, let us also recall the values of the synod that started 4 years ago, the values that we've been reflecting on this synod journey, that everybody is important in the church, regardless of who they are. Everybody should be invited to the table. Don't say this one is rich, this one is poor. Everyone, it is enough that they are created in the likeness and image of God. Bring them to the table. Let them feel the joy of this meal, of this banquet. In fact, this meal that the Lord has prepared is a prefiguration of the meal that we're going to feast on as we go to heaven. It gives us a foretaste. Like, this is just Nika Dionko Chabe. There's a bigger feast that the Lord is inviting us to in heaven. But let us start with what we have here on earth. The feast being talked about is the mission of the church itself, that all the doors to this mission should be open for everyone to participate. Sparancate report.
The doors
Father,
are open.
Indeed, this is a very powerful message. It's like you have been called at the banquet, you've enjoyed the meal, go out and share. Call people to come and enjoy with you. It shouldn't just be you experiencing that good feeling.
When you see someone putting a flower at the altar to decorate the altar, don't go to them and say, hey, that is not your job, it is my job. No, let them participate. Let them offer a service. No, that job is for us, whatever leg group you belong to. You belong to the other leg group, therefore you are crossing borders. No. Open the doors to everyone. Let people feel they are part of what is happening in the church. They are part of the work of the church. Sometimes we discourage people because they are different from us.
Sure.
We say, this one is not part of us, therefore they shouldn't come and participate. They shouldn't do this particular role. It's supposed to be done by us. And people are pushed away like that. But everyone should be invited. Break open the doors, go out and invite everyone. Go and invite everyone to the banquet. Matthew 22 verse 9.
Doors are open right here. And what you should know, as we are saying, let us invite someone to church as tomorrow is Mission Sunday. The feast has been prepared. Don't mind where you are coming from, where someone is coming from. The feast has been prepared, and tomorrow doors are open. Thank you very much, Father, for coming through.
Thank you so much.
Your last words to our viewers.
Please go to church tomorrow. It's a very okay. All Sundays are important, but tomorrow is particularly important. Everyone should go to church tomorrow and be part of the banquet. And after church, it's not like he wants a church. No. After church, that's when work starts, because we all become envoys of the message of Christ. We go out to evangelize. We are all part of the mission of the church.
That's interesting. Right up now, we'll go on a short break. See you after the break. Stay tuned.
byose turegamira tukaba muri yena na muri bayife kirabushikufwe bana bakwe uyu mukate mubiri wakwe Yesu uyu mukate mubiri wakwe Yesu nindifai mulaba wakwe Yesu nindifai mulaba wakwe Yesu uyu mukate mubiri wakwe Yesu uyu mukate mubiri wakwe Yesu nindifai mulaba wakwe Yesu nindifai.
Welcome back. You're still watching Lumen Morning Diary. Right about now, we've just been joined by the chairman of the men's organization, ADL, Archdiocese of Lusaka. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Alice. Thank you.
Welcome to Lumen Morning Diary.
I'm happy. I haven't been here in a long time. I can see there are some improvements in the studio. Well done.
Thank you so much, and welcome once again.
Yeah.
Yes. Before we delve into the questions that I have for you, sir, we'll start. Kindly introduce yourself.
My name is Chileshe Kandeta.
Okay.
I'm the chairperson, as you've rightly introduced, of the Catholic Men's Organization for the Archdiocese of Lusaka, which has 12 deaneries, as you may be aware, and 84 parishes. But obviously each of these establishments has their own executive structures for CMO. Deaneries, the 12 deaneries have their structures, each parish has got their structure. So at Archdiocese level, I'm the chairperson with an executive committee that has 12 other persons who are trustees for each of the deaneries. Just to make it a bit more clear, I come from Longacres Deanery myself.
Okay.
One of my vice chairpersons, Mr. Grevazo Zulu, comes from Choston Deanery. The other vice chairperson, Dr. Malama, comes from Matero Deanery. So it goes just like that. So somehow every deanery is represented.
Okay. Yesterday, on the 18th of October, we had seen the main organization meet at the Cathedral of the Child Jesus. Kindly share with us what was really happening at the cathedral.
What was happening yesterday is what we call the Fishers of Men Day.
Okay. Okay.
It is an annual event held on the 18th of October since 2021. Basically, the structure of the CMO calendar is that, you know, for ADL level events, we first have an event on the 1st of May, which we call St. Joseph the Waker, a Medals of Honor and Talent Festival. That event is followed by a pilgrimage at the end of August, the last Saturday of August. The pilgrimage is followed by yesterday's event, which is the Fishers of Men. The last major event for the CMO is a Pastoral Fund presentation, which is the last Saturday of October. So given that structure, yesterday we were meeting as per tradition for the last 4 years with all the men in the Archdiocese. So the idea is to pray together, to give thanks to the Lord for the graces that He has given us as men, with our families and our other establishments. It is also a day where we observe, you know, we examine the efforts that are made by parishes in recruiting men. That's why it is called Fishers of Men Day. So the main part of that day is just to check what efforts as a parish have you made to register men in your parish. So it is just as simple as that. Then we give them prize 1 to 3. But yesterday's event had other components. As I've explained, we had a component where we were giving trophies for winners of the first May event, which I talked about. The event was very colorful on the day, but it overran. It became late. There are some, some of the participants who were coming from very far, Mumbwa, Luangwa, and so on and so forth. They needed to get back. So the prize giving part wasn't done on the day. It was moved to yesterday. So yesterday's event had that component also. But also we had the appointment of CMO ambassadors. The first time we introduced the concept was in 2021. These CMO ambassadors are people who have, excelled in life, in their professions, in their businesses, and in their endeavors. So we think they can be an example to others of the Catholic faith. So we had 11 people that were appointment, one of whom was a retention from the last group, which was appointed in 21. This is Professor Lambert. There were 10 other people who were appointed yesterday. Then there was also another component where leg groups, because CMO is basically a coordinating structure. It's not a leg group per se. So every man 21 years and above, 21 years up to 24, you are an associate member. But above 25 years, there's nothing like I want to register. It's automatic. As long as you're 25 years and above, you're CMO. So yesterday's event, we said, hey guys, let us not restrict people to the CMO uniform, which is white and black. Let people come in their lay group uniforms. So you had all kinds of colors yesterday. Axiol, Ludovico, Joachim, and some of our friends, the Catholic Men's League, well, with those immaculate suits of theirs. So the idea was just to show that we are one as men, despite all these different establishments that we that was basically the reason for the day. But we don't usually we don't exceed beyond midday, because there's another event which usually comes just a week later, which is the pastoral fund presentation. So we needed people to go and prepare for next week's event, which is very important. So that is just about how the day was yesterday. Okay,
just to draw you back on the Fishers of Men, we really want to know why it's called the Fishers of Men Day.
Jesus went out and found these guys fishing, and told, what are you guys? We are fishing. The Bible story, yeah. And you told them, I'll make you fishers of men.
Fishers of men.
Yes.
Okay.
So the concept of fishers of men in the CMO is about telling the next man that we are the owners of the church, which we must look after, in whose activities we must participate. As you appreciate, Alice, the church in Zambia was for a long time, funded by missionaries. Missionaries have gone in many parts of the country. Who should look after the church? It is ourselves. The church which was begun by Jesus and the 12 disciples. Is that so? They looked after the church at its infant stage, up to where we are today. And Jesus, who was basically a youth, 33 years old, he dies. He was just a youth. I don't know whether you conceive that. Now, look at Jesus' age and me, who is in his 50s, who is in my 50s, and the men who are in their 60s, men who are in their 70s, men who are in their 40s. We can do better than that young group, that Jesus group did in looking after the church. So Fishers of Men is about saying, let us participate in the activities of the church in whatever way. One, in the leg groups. That's why I mentioned all these leg groups. In small Christian communities, but also in other setups of the church, whether it's fundraising, it's whether it's supporting Lumen TV, it is an activity of the church. When you support Lumen TV, for instance, you're supporting evangelization, isn't it?
Yes.
When you support Lumen TV, you are making sure that Alice doesn't get upset and she stops doing the program. The institution is funded. So men are encouraged on that day. Let us look after the church. We are men. Let us, those who are already active, we say, well done. But how many more can we attract to come back in the setup? I'll give you just one dimension which was added yesterday.
Okay.
One of the ambassadors who was appointed yesterday is Mark Chilongo. Mark Chilongo is the director of an arts group called Africa Directions. He's very active. He has been active in the church, coming from Wisdom Tendere Parish. Is now with St. Joseph in Challenge. He's relatively a young person. So His Grace the Archbishop says, you are also going to be an ambassador of the Catholic Men's Organization. But to deal with the issue of, transitioning youths to the CMO proper, made up of elderly people like myself. Yes, how do you ensure that there is a proper transition, number one? But also he's been given an assignment to say, can we work with youth groups? Can you work with all these establishment, Teen on the Move and all this, to help them manage some of the things like, drug abuse, managing withdrawal. We have these social ills which are happening. And these are happening in our communities. Some of the people, some of the youths who are involved in this are Catholics. We have had children, boys who are outer boys. After exiting the outer boys, they disappear. Where do they go to? So we need that transition. So Fishers of Men is a concept that is designed to ensure that we recruit as many as men as possible in whatever establishment of the church to remain active participants of the activities of the church, including the activities of Alice and Lumen TV.
There is a very important event that is coming forth this coming Saturday, which is Pastoral Fund. Kindly explain to us more about it.
The Pastoral Fund is a fund which was established by the Archbishop in the Archdiocese of Lusaka in 2020. The structure of the church is made of many different parts. Spiritual formation, evangelization, catechesis, and pastoral works. Pastoral works include things like, managing missions of the church, hospitals, things like that, charity works and all these things. But also looking after the plight of priests. Financing publications of the Archdiocese. I'll give you a very practical example, which is we are in a crisis as a nation where we have just gone through a drought. And you and me, for instance, my shirt is not ironed. Don't even ask me why. The reason is very clear.
Well known.
We have parishes in the Archdiocese which in normal times maybe the offering is 20 kwacha, 30 kwacha in the outlying areas, okay? And those parishes have got priests that need to be looked after. This priest needs to move. Some of them, they move 80 kilometers, 50 kilometers with a vehicle. Now with a Sunday collection of 20 kwacha, where can you go? So the Archbishop finances the needs of these. He also finances the needs of priests in terms of training, if they want to go for further training. He also finances the needs of priests for some medical aspects and all these things. So the Pastoral Fund is about looking after the church. The women, they raise seminarian fund. They raise seminarian fund to train a priest. Once the priest is trained, they are ordained. What happens after that? The church needs to look after the missionaries are no longer here. And even when we give the example of missionaries, those missionaries, the funds, the resources they were bringing, those are resources that came from the Christians in those places. We can do the same. So next week, we have the Pastoral Fund presentation at St. Matthias Mulumba Parish in Berlin.
Okay.
The host is Ibex Dinari. However, Ibex Dinari is a composition of several parishes. So in that dinari, they picked St. Matthias Mulumba to host the Pastoral Fund presentation. What it means is that since the last presentation, which was made in October 2023, funds have been contributed by men, parish by parish, parish by parish. So in that event, we are going to say, okay, just let me take you back. We have partitioned the parishes into what we call tiers.
Okay.
What I mean is, we have said this group of parishes, X number, in our view, can raise up to 15,000 the whole year. That is just as much as they can do. Whatever happens, we don't think they can go beyond this because of X, Y, Z circumstances surrounding them. The next group of parishes, they can raise up to 25. We have said that. The next group of parishes, 40. The next group, 65. The next group, 75. The top group, 110. These are what we are calling tiers. So there are 6 tiers. For instance, I'll give you, just for purposes of clarity, tier 1.
Okay.
Tier 1, which is a top group. You have parishes like St. Ignatius, my parish, in Rotspark. You have Cathedral of the Child Jesus, Good Shepherd Parish, Heavenly Father Parish in Charleston, Mary Assumption Parish in Chilanga, Charles Lwanga Parish in your neighborhood in Woodlands, St. Joseph Parish in Chilenje, and Mary Immaculate Parish. That is what constitutes tier 1. And this group of parishes has been given a target of 110. However, within their tier, the Archbishop will say, who has done better?
Okay.
So this is where we give prize number 1, 2, 3. But just give me 1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay.
1 minute. I know you are running out of time. I know you are running out of time, but 1 minute.
Yes, as you explain, you also give in your concluding remarks.
No problem. Last year, we raised the 2.3 million. Our target this year is 3 million.
Okay.
We are just getting there. We'll get where the women are.
The women.
So next week, we hope we can give the Archbishop 3 million as a pastoral fund. What is my concluding remark? My concluding remark is that the church belongs to us at whatever level. It doesn't just have to be men or women, even the youths. It is your church. It is a church which was begun by a youth like you, youth who is sitting at home there. A youth, Jesus, who only had 3 years. And see what has happened. Just for 3 years, a legacy of 3 years. What about us? What can we do? There is something we can do as the Christians, Catholics in the Archdiocese of Lusaka, to look after ourselves, to look after the church, to look after the youth, even to look after Lumen TV so that we can continue to watch these programs. Is that okay, Alice?
Very much okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Kandeta.
Thank you.
It has been a pleasure having you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So bye-bye, people. We'll see you next week at the Pastoral Fund presentation. All men need to be there, including youths who are men.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Yes, yes. Well, that was Mr. Kandeta, the chairman of the men's organization on the ADL level. Join Henry on the next segment. For now, we go on the break.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back, and it is now the world of sports. As you can see, the ball has already been lined here on the table, ready to be kicked off. Mr. Mafuta, are you ready to kick this ball?
Definitely ready to kick the ball, especially after some face saver in the Zambian game. I think we were all having it hard to say are we qualifying or not, but at least something came up in an away game. Of course, against Chad, but Chad at home, but away from home, playing that game in Yaoundé, Zambia, emerging victors. Mr. Grant, just going by his words, he said, we have started badly, but there is no way we are not going to the AFCON. He said, we are going, and with that result, I think something seems to be showing now.
Are you telling me that Zambia are the way with that? Are you telling me that it's a win that will give Zambians hope to say we are comfortable?
Actually, that win really gives a lot of hope, because if you saw how we played at home, we failed to beat Chad at home, but having a win away from home and looking at the number of injuries, of course, with about 5 to 6 starting players missing out, but still picking a result. I think that just showed that we are now getting into the game. But again, what really gives us headache is we thought we were going to have that breather because look at Ivory Coast. We were thinking Ivory Coast automatically will beat Sierra Leone and go to 12 points and have an automatic qualification. But instead, Ivory Coast lost to Sierra Leone, a game that a lot of people didn't expect. And now that brings a bit of complications, because it means Sierra Leone are also back in contention. It was Zambia and Sierra Leone to fight for that. But the good part of it is, all what we need now from the remaining 2 games is just a point, and we don't mind whatever happens anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
So maybe, for instance, Mr. Mafuta, when you look at the world of football now,
yes,
in the ratings, according to your own predictions, do you think, looking at, African game is something which is very hard to predict, to say who carry the day.
Yeah.
Looking at Zambia's performance, are we safe on the AFCON?
First, I will talk about the qualification part. I think we seem...
As you repeat the same, because I want to go back, sure, even the viewers that are watching, you being the soccer analyst, looking at the performance of the coach, Grant, and then I saw some posts after that win. Definitely, he smiled. People never saw him smile after a long time. So, do we have that guarantee with the squad that we have currently?
In terms of qualification, I would say yes, but in terms of being competitive at the showpiece, no.
No.
Yeah, we are a team that can qualify, but I don't think we are a team that can go to the AFCON and be among those teams that would say these are teams that we look for in terms of winning it. But what is important is to be on that stage. The more you are on that stage, you gain experience of the stage, and then I'm sure something good can come. But I would emphatically say qualification, yes, but being competitive at the AFCON, no. We still have a lot to do. The team is not really convincing that we can go to the AFCON and be competitive now.
Games outside Africa?
Yeah, outside Africa, of course. Maybe before I go, it is outside Africa, but let's look at our women. Our women under 17, we must know that they qualified to the Dominican Republic World Cup. The World Cup kicked off, and Zambia is being represented at the World Cup. Of course, we are at the World Cup for the second time, 10 years exactly down the line. We were there in 2014 in Costa Rica, and again, we have qualified. We played the first game in the World Cup for the under 17 women, where we were narrowly beaten by a lone goal by the Samba girls, that is Brazil. We lost to Brazil. Brazil scored an early goal, and we accounted for ourselves very well, because when they scored early, I think everyone thought this would be a cricket scoreline, but the girls played very well, and we lost 1-0 to Brazil. Of course, we are in a group against the Polish and also Japan. Our next game will be playing on Monday. That is against Poland, before we conclude the group stage with Japan. So the starting point, we lost, but the girls played so well, and I think Japan and Poland are a lesser opposition as compared to Brazil. Seems to be the powerhouse. We all know that, but looking at Poland and Japan, I think we can pick up something from there, possibly qualify to the next round of the Women's World Cup. And still talking about women, of course, Barbara Banda continues making headlines. She becomes the second female player to be nominated for the BBC Player of the Year.
Wow.
She's been nominated again. Remember, the first Zambian to have won the BBC World Player of the Year, the first Zambian to have won it, was Chris Katongo. And now we have Barbara Banda, who anything is possible. She can win. She's among the nominees so far. She has a double nomination, the Ballon d'Or, the best women player on the continent. She is on that list, and they have remained the top 7. And among the best 7 in the world, Barbara is there.
Wow. All the best, BB11. I'm sure. You know, let me proudly announce, most of the times I do communicate with Barbara, especially via social media, where we do communicate with different players, even Kangwa, who is based in Egypt. Exactly. But when you look at the performance of Barbara Banda of late, she has really worked hard. That does not just come. It is through hard work.
Exactly.
Yeah, congratulations to you. I'm sure you are following, and I will not forget to send the link to you so that you can hear it for yourself. Yeah.
You were still talking about I think the games outside.
Outside Africa.
Yeah, but of course
before we come back to Zambia, I know we have a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Outside Africa, I think the most followed league in the world, although people would claim to say football is in Spain, but the bottom line is the most followed league in the world remains the English league. And it was on recess because of the international games. We had a break for the international games where we saw the likes of Ronaldo playing for his country, Portugal. And he has gone beyond 225 games for his nation, making him the player that has played the highest number of games for a country ever since in the history of football, and is standing at more than 900 goals, the highest goal any player has ever scored in his career. So we watched those. But in the EPL, of course, we are back. The players are back from international duty, and they will be doing justice for their clubs with an early kickoff in the EPL at 13:30, which will be Tottenham Hotspur playing against West Ham at 13:30. Tottenham has to up their game. Last game they played against Brighton, they were leading by 2-0, but ended up losing it 3-2, which wasn't good. Fulham will take on Aston Villa at 16 hours. Then we have Ipswich taking on Everton, Manchester United and Brentford, Newcastle, Brighton. Then Southampton will take on Leicester, Bournemouth, with Arsenal with a lot of injuries. Of course, tomorrow the big game of the week is Chelsea taking on, Liverpool taking on Chelsea, because Liverpool at home. That will be at 5:30. And then we have Wolves taking on Manchester City. That will be at 3 o'clock. And of course, on Monday, the Forest will take on Crystal Palace. Then the Zambian League is back. Maybe just quickly to look at what we have in the Zambian League. We have Our Cow Warriors, of course, at Lero Stadium, taking on Green Buffaloes. That is today at 15 hours. Lumwana Radiants will take on Zesco at 15 hours. That is at Lumwana Grounds. Then FC Muza taking on the powerful Power Dynamos. Napsa Stars, the Pensioners, will take on the Airmen. That is the Dalos at Hoodland Stadium today at 15 hours. Just 2 to 3 kilometers away from the studio. I'm sure I'll be able to cover that game by going to see it. What happens in Kwazi will take on Mighty and Florida Wanderers. Mighty have parted ways with the coach. They have a new coach, and we're yet to see what he brings to the table. And tomorrow it's Mutondo Stars taking on Forest. Zesco United taking on Indeni. The bad boys, as they call them, Atletico Lusaka. These are new boys who have come into the league, having Green Eagles. And of course, Nkana and Changa Rangers, they'll play on Wednesday.
All right, Atletico, they've come with a hit. I'm sure Nkwazi felt it, Green Buffaloes felt it, and also I think they're coming up well,
exactly,
just like Muza. Your last words, Mr. Mafuta.
Yeah, my last words is a lot of sporting activities for the day, and of course, as we are into sporting, but let's not put aside our spiritual life. Let's remain grilled. Lumen TV has a lot for you. Let your spirit also be edified as you edify the body. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It has been Mr. Mafuta and myself, Henry Mdenda, on the sports segment. For now, we'll go on a short break. Do stay tuned as we'll be looking at climate change in depth.
Be smart. Advertise your business with Lumen TV by calling our marketing department on 0974 71 60 20 or 0977 30 07 74.
I think we don't have a coach who is able to tactically read the game. A coach who is able to come up with a formation to match the opponents that we are playing. We seem to have only one game plan. And if our plan is thwarted, meaning we cannot introduce any other plan, and it will end like that, it will prove to be disaster. America just read the game, and the coach prior to the game, she said, we know, we've been studying Zambia for the past months. We know that they've got two dangerous attackers in Barbara Banda and Rachel, because these players play in America, so they know them. So they said, if we are able to mark these two players out of the game, there's nothing that Zambia can do. They don't have another plan B. And this is what they did exactly. And they were very fast on the ball. They could hold the ball. The problem with our Zambian team, we don't have players who are capable of holding the ball. Once a player receives a pass, they will kick the ball forward. Yeah, wherever it goes, chinichoke chabe, chicha chabe chinichoke.
Welcome back. We are looking at the health, climate change, which is has impacted so many lives world over. And right up now, I've been joined by Mr. Ishmael Kalino, Environmental Health Officer, and also a lecturer at Lusaka Environmental Health University. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
And on the other side, I have Nancy Wiskos, a fifth-year student at Lusaka Apex Medical University, who will tell us the health implications in line with climate change. Wiskos, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Have I pronounced your name properly?
Very much correct.
All right. So run us through the same climate change to start with. What is it all about, and why is it that climate change is a global concern? What is climate change, and why is it a global concern?
All right. Thank you so much. So climate change is a global concern, and to just define it, or in simple terms, would say climate change is the extreme or long-term change in weather patterns as well as temperatures. And it is a global concern because it is affecting the ecosystem, the lives of people, as well as also the biodiversity.
All right, you've talked about the climate change affecting the ecosystem and biodiversity. How does it affect, or how does it affect them?
Looking at the current situation that Zambia is facing, there's deforestation. So the cutting down of trees is one of the major causes of the loss of diversity and ecosystem. So once you cut down these trees, and then where are the animals going to be? The habitats, you have destroyed the habitat of these animals. So you find that they'll have nowhere to go, and thus leaving no room for these animals, or rather diversity in the ecosystem.
All right, what are the steps? Many of the times people talk about deforestation, and we've been hearing about deforestation, burning of charcoal, and then we are living in the times of load shedding, of which people are using it the most. What are the steps that are being taken by the government and organizations to address this climate change?
Okay, so the government, yes, and other organizations, they've come on board to advocate for climate change, to advocate for such kind of action. And one of the steps is that there is what we call policy reforms, which the government are working on. Also, there are also what we call tax, putting heavy tax on big industries, because they are the people that are cutting down big or heavy, or maybe let's say causing heavy deforestation, and also what we might just call environmental degradation.
All right, so we're looking at countries like the foreign countries, looking at the current happenings. We've been witnessing wars and the like. Are there any charges that have caused on this African continent? What do you have to say about that? Because we've seen climate change being the global concern, and being caused by maybe a heavy use of heavy pollution in the air, caused by different countries which are not African countries. The records has it, but what is it that the government has to do about that? Because the pollution that maybe the African countries may cause cannot be compared to the Western Western countries. What's your take on that one?
Okay, I think might answer that. So currently there was an agreement which we call Paris Agreement, to say like it's a global call, right, to unite the nations towards climate change, to say if they can reduce the temperatures by 1.5 degrees Celsius. So these are ongoing talks and agreement, so that they can come together and see how best they can work towards this cause.
Which cause? What are the health effects of climate change? Because many other times people think climate change, the change of weather pattern, take a lot of water and whatsoever. But what are these health effects of climate change?
Looking at the impacts that climate change has brought on our planet. So the one of the effects or the impact of on health, it has caused let's say the imaging of diseases. So I'll give an example of COVID-19. So COVID-19 is one of the they talked disease that come about because of this climate change due to the change in this weather, to the change of the weather.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do individuals and communities play to combat climate change? Because we've seen this being left out in the hands of the government alone, but what do human beings like us, you and I, what role do we play to combat this climate change?
Okay, so it is very important for individuals and communities to contribute towards working to achieve or come together to see that there is no any activities that would degrade the environment. And I myself, let me mention to say that I'm coming from a movement which is called Eco Stewards for Health Initiative. And this is an initiative where we are going into secondary schools and communities, forming what we call environmental health clubs. And we are advocating for proper waste disposal, reuse, recycling, and also reducing of waste, because they are contributing to global warming. And also, other than that, we are also advocating for just a better public health.
All right. Do you think universities and colleges have done enough to sensitize their students? Rather, they have done enough to sensitize the public about the dangers of maybe environmental care and lack of environmental care in line with combating climate change?
I can answer that question.
All right. Okay.
Yes. Example I'll give where I'm coming from, Lusaka Apex Medical University. So we have this, we come up with this group to sanitize the public health on how to manage and how to combat this the environmental the climate change by going around the other schools, like the small schools, and as well as the marketplaces. We take those women that don't know how to they don't know about this climate issue. At least we are trying to advocate them to join activities such as the greenhouse, where you involve yourself in activities where to plant plants.
To plant trees.
Trees, I mean, yes.
Yes.
Yes, to plant trees. And then also to, something like that.
Planting a tree at some point, it becomes hard because of the climate change itself. It becomes too hot to maintain the tree to grow. Definitely, what's your take on that one? What type of trees are they supposed to plant?
Okay, so the type of trees also, yes, matters, because there are other types of trees that will take long for them to grow, even some years. So we advise those trees that don't need much, doesn't need much of the water to be planted, even just flowers and all that.
All right, we are talking about the drought-resistant trees that have to be planted to combat climate change. Your last words, the lecturer.
Okay. Thank you so much for inviting to this breakfast morning. My last word would be, I would engage or I would call upon everyone in our communities, either at institutional level or maybe just a community level, to come on board. Let's plant trees if we can. Let's improve on waste management. Okay, we shouldn't just litter anyhow. Also, let's not fill up all these drainages that the government are trying so hard to put up proper drainages, because when you talk about climate change, you're also talking about these droughts things, so they come up with a lot of effects, and they're also causing disease, cancers, and also injuries. So it is our duty as the community and also the government, let's work together so that we can see to it that we have a better environment.
All right, your last words.
Thank you. So the last word that the youth, you and I have the rights to maintain our environment, because at the end of the day, it's us that have been affected by this thing. So make sure we ensure that we collect the disposal of this waste, as well as encourage ourselves to join initiatives, groups, so that we can be encouraging ourselves on how to manage our environment. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. It has been a wonderful discussion around climate change, and right up now we'll go on a short break. Join us on the other side. Stay tuned.
Is it a must that you have to tell somebody that you're inviting? Nakushita invite iwe Henry bwera kwedinkwanga nakuza na ma condition, but it's me inviting you. I want your presence nakuuza ma condition kuti ubwere not less than 500 kwacha. How do you take that?
Actually, for me, I take it as a way of limiting me. Because definitely when one invites me and then tells me to say come for my wedding actually, and then tells me to say when coming you put this amount, definitely that person has actually limited you. Obviously maybe you wanted to treasure the kind of friendship that you had with that person on the different note, but when it comes that way, it sets a limit.
The presentations have helped me personally to learn what the other sisters are doing, and it would help our congregation to improve on the areas that we are not doing well.
Educate one woman and you educate the nation.
The Strathmore University Sisters Blended Value Project, SBVP, invites you to the Zambia Annual SMU's Conference and Expo to be held on 23rd October 2024 at Taj Palmos Hotel in Lusaka, Zambia. Time will be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central African Time. You are all welcome to this year's Conference and Expo to be held under the theme Empowering Women, Building Futures, the Path to Success for Women-Owned SMEs and Social Enterprises. The first 50 sisters will receive free entry tickets courtesy of SBVP, along with complimentary exhibition slots available on first come, first served basis. Online registration is now open. For inquiries, call Paul on +254 722 480 735, on the SBVP Communications Desk on +254 792 781 171, or Sally on +260 979 087 835, or Sister Celestina Siali on +254 714 611 301. Better still, send your email to pbkundo@strathmore.edu or sbvpcommunication@strathmore.edu. This event is organized by SBVP in partnership with Strathmore University Business School, the Conrad Hilton Foundation, and Association of Consecrated Women in Eastern and Central Africa, ACWECA.
Welcome back. You're still watching Lumen Morning Diary. We are back with the Divine Mercy Choir. They are here to give us an a cappella. But before they do that, I would love them to share with us the more information about the album launch, what time it will be, and where the people can get the tickets.
Thank you very much once again. Our album launch will be held on the 26th of October at Nipa Hall grounds we are encouraging each and everyone, come all, come one, come all, Christian, either whatever religion you're coming from, let us come and support the launch. The tickets are going at 200 kwacha for the ordinary ticket, 500 kwacha VIP, and 1,000 kwacha VVIP. Timings are from 16:30 to 21 hours.
Okay. Okay. I'm sure the viewers have heard where to get the tickets, the time, and the date when the album will be launched. So I'll allow you, the Divine Mercy Choir, to give us an a cappella. You need to hear the beautiful songs so that you are there at the album launch. Yes, please.
Let's go. For your faithfulness, Lord, we give you thanks, singing hallelujah. Lord, receive our praise. What you've done for us, Lord, amazes us, singing hallelujah. Hallelujah, Lord, we thank you for what you've done.
Wow, 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 wow. That was amazing. I couldn't help but dance. This is so beautiful. I'm sure the viewers, you've heard for yourself. Zakadila, you can't afford to miss. You need to be. See you there. Yes, see you there. You need to be at the album launch. Wow. Keep on. Before you continue singing, dear viewers, continue to watch Lumen Morning Diary. It's open for sponsorship. Bamina Tumtemba, Tumababa Shop. You can come and advertise with us. Remember to follow Lumen TV on channel 101 Top Star, and you can also follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Lumen TV. Thank you. Yes.
From the rising go. From the rising of the sun, your name I'll praise, O God. You have shown me constant love. At your feet I find my peace. You do not count my sins, O Lord. You are there to make me clean. I'll praise your name forever. I'll praise your name forever. I rise up and thank you, Lord, for all you have done for me. I rise up and thank you, Lord. Forever I'll sing your praise. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you on Saturday.
Let's move the party.
St. Mark the Evangelist Catholic Church in Chalala presents
Thanksgiving album launch by Divine Mercy Choir.
It is happening for the first time.
On the 26th of October 2024,
16:30 to 21 hours.
Venue is Nipa Conference Hall.
We are building our church through Thanksgiving.
Remember, first come, first serve.
See you there. St. Mark the Evangelist Catholic Church in Chalala presents
Thanksgiving album launch by Divine Mercy Choir.
It is happening for the first time.
on the 26th of October 2024.
16:30 to 21 hours.
Venue is Nipa Conference Hall.
We are building our church through Thanksgiving.
Remember, first come, first serve.
See you there. St. Mark the Evangelist Catholic Church in Chalala presents
Thanksgiving album launch by Divine Mercy Choir.
It is happening for the first time.
on the 26th of October 2024.
16:30 to 21 hours.
Venue is Nipa Conference Hall.
We are building our church through Thanksgiving.
Remember, first come, first serve.
See you there.